The voice that saved thousands, silenced at 1:03 p.m. Gospel icon Betty Bayo, the 11th hour hitmaker, is gone, and what happened in those final moments at Kenyatta National Hospital will break your heart. November 10th of 2025, 1:03 p.m., the private wing of Kenyatta National Hospital, a family spokesperson steps forward, surrounded by grief-stricken relatives. Her current husband, Hiram Gitau, wearing dark goggles, unable to control his tears. Her ex-husband, Pastor Victor Kanyari, father of the two children, standing in stunned silence. The words that shattered Kenya's gospel community. "We have lost Betty. It is no longer a rumor. It is the truth. The woman who sang 11th Hour, the anthem that became a lifeline for millions, had just taken her final breath. But this wasn't sudden. This was a battle of silent war that had been raging for months."
Watu wangu, mimi kifo cha Betty Bayo kimeniguza sana. Sana. Sijawahi lia vile nimelia kifo cha mtu ambaye si wa familia kama vile nimelia kwa sababu ya Betty Bayo.
What was Betty Bayo really fighting? And why did no one see the signs until it was too late? Stay with me, because what her family revealed next explains everything. Advanced stage leukemia, blood cancer that was ravaging her body from the inside. Betty Bayo had been suffering from excessive bleeding, a symptom so severe that doctors transferred her from the AAR hospital on Kiambu Road to the intensive care unit at Kenyatta National Hospital on Friday, November 7th.
Na wengi wanauliza kwa nini Betty Bayo amekufa, nini kimesababisha kifo chake. Na pia mimi nimepata hiyo taarifa kama vile wengine wenu mmepata, lakini kwa sababu ya wale hawajajua ni nini kimeua Betty Bayo. Betty Bayo amekuwa diagnosed na leukemia.
Just 3 days before her death, Bishop Muthee Kiengei, her close friend, revealed the heartbreaking timeline. She lived a life of praising God and business, a joyful artist until recently when she was diagnosed with blood cancer at an advanced stage. Back in August of 2025, Betty posted a photo on social media. She was wearing an oxygen mask. Her caption, simple: "The cold weather affected me. No mention of cancer, no cry for help, and no warning for the battle ahead." She kept on smiling, she kept on singing, and she kept on inspiring, even as her body was betraying her. But here is something even more devastating about her final week, something that shows just how quickly everything collapsed. November 3rd of 2025, just 1 week before her death, news anchor Wakura Wanyutu visited Betty at her home. They laughed together, they talked until almost midnight. Wakura later wrote, "I truly hoped you would be well." 5 days later, Betty was fighting for her life in AAR hospital. 2 days after that, she was transferred to Kenyatta National Hospital, high dependency unit. The bleeding wouldn't stop, her family spokesperson revealed. The doctors did their best, but the will of God has prevailed. At exactly 1:03 p.m. on Monday, November 10th, Beatrice Wairimu Mbugua, known to the world as Betty Bayo, took her last breath. She was surrounded by family, by her husband Hiram, by Pastor Kanyari, and by friends who couldn't imagine a world without her voice. But who was the real Betty Bayo, and why does her death feel like Kenya has lost more than just a single singer? The answer will remind you of why her legacy will never die.
Leukemia ni blood cancer, na imekuja kujulikana ikiwa the last days, the last stages, ambapo very little can be done to save the situation. Si ati kuna kitu ngumu kwa Mungu, lakini mambo yote hufanyika kwa Mungu kujua. Kifo chake kimefanya nikumbuke post mbili zake. Moja alipost October 19th. Akasema watu wako na vitu mingi mzuri za kusema juu yako, lakini gojea mpaka ufe.
11th Hour, the words that changed Kenyan gospel scene forever. The song that told you, no matter how dark it gets, hope arrives at the 11th hour. Betty Bayo didn't just sing gospel, she lived it, a mother of 2 beautiful children, an ex-wife who maintained grace and dignity even after her public divorce from Pastor Kanyari. A married woman who found love again with Hiram Gitau, a businessman, a content creator, a fashion influencer, and a trailblazer, who opened doors for young female artists in a male-dominated industry. Her other hits, Gaitimodo, Atasimama na Wewe, Nikuhaduo, became anthems of faith across Kenya Kikuyu gospel scene. Bishop Ben Kengei captured it perfectly. She leaves behind a legacy of great contribution to the gospel music industry, a soul that maximized its full potential. She has rested after serving. Pastor Kanyari, in an emotional tribute, wrote, "It hurts in ways I can't explain. You left before I could say everything I needed to. I still see you in every laugh our children give, in every little habit that reminds me of you. So sad. Rest in peace, Mama Sky." Her body has been moved to Kenyatta University Teaching Referral and Research Hospital mortuary. Funeral arrangements are underway. The gospel industry is in mourning. Fans across Kenya are playing the 11th hour on repeat, tears streaming down their faces because Betty Bayo proved something more powerful. Even those who dedicate their lives to inspiring hope can face silent battles. Even the strongest voices can be silenced, but their impact, their message, and their legacy, that lives forever. It is being assumed that in the recent months, Betty Bayo faced her greatest test, not a public scandal, not broken relationships, but a battle within her own body. She was diagnosed with leukemia, blood cancer at an advanced stage. The same faith she has sung about for over a decade will now be tested in the valley of the shadows. But hours before her passing, she shared a scripture and a stunning photo, her final words to the world: "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Even in her 11th hour, she still believed. The tributes are pouring in like a flood. Fellow artists, church leaders, and fans across the nation. She maximized her full potential. Bishop Kengei wrote, "She has rested after serving." Betty Bayo leaves behind more than just songs. She leaves a blueprint of resilience. She has showed us that your beginning doesn't determine your ending, that scandals don't have to be the final chapter, that even when the diagnosis is grim, faith is not foolish, it is a foundation. She leaves behind her children, her daughter Sky and son, who will forever carry her strength in their DNA, her husband Hiram, her mother, her 7 siblings, and a nation of fans who sang her songs in the darkest hour. Betty Bayo lived what she sang. When the doctors said advanced stage, she sang. When her body weakened, her spirit soared. When her 11th hour came, the final hour, she left this world the same way she lived in it, with praise on her lips and faith in her heart. The Kikuyu gospel scene has lost a pioneer, the church has lost a worshipper, Kenya has lost a voice, but heaven has gained a new sound. Rest in power, Betty Bayo. Your 11th hour has become your eternal dawn. To her family and her friends, and every single soul who found hope in her music, may her songs continue to remind you it's not over until God says it's over, and even then, it's only the beginning. There are voices that sing, and then there are voices that heal, voices that reach out into the darkest moments of your life and whisper, "It's not over yet." On November 10th, 2025, Kenya has lost one of those voices, and that is Betty Bayo, the woman whose song became a lifeline for thousands, took her final breath at Kenyatta National Hospital. Today, Kenya's gospel community faces its own 11th hour, a moment to remember, a moment to celebrate, to carry forward the torch she lit. Rest in power, Beatrice Wairimu Mbugua. Rest in power, Betty Bayo. Cancer may have claimed your body, but your voice, your message, your 11th hour, that will echo forever. If this story moved you, hit that like button, share this tribute, and drop a prayer in the comments for her family, her children, and everyone whose life she touched. Because legends never die, they just sing from a higher stage.